All right, today we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of us have struggled with. It's this idea of taking those big, exciting goals we have and actually making them a part of who we are, turning a vision into a real, lived identity. So let's get right into it. So let's be real for a second. Have you ever done this? You spend a whole afternoon, you've got the magazines, the glue stick, you're feeling so inspired, and you create this perfect vision board. And then what happens? A few weeks go by and it's just kind of sitting there, collecting dust, while your life is pretty much exactly the same. It's such a common story, right? That initial spark and then nothing really changes. And this quote right here, it just nails the problem. Having that clear dream is amazing, it's the first step. But when it's not connected to what you're actually doing, that hope can really start to feel more like frustration. You know exactly where you want to go, but you feel like you're just stuck in the same spot. So that brings us to our first big topic, what we'll call the vision board problem, or that sense of an unfulfilled promise. Now, we're not here to bash vision boards at all, but we do need to understand why, on their own, they sometimes don't lead to that deep, lasting change we're looking for. First things first, let's be super clear. Vision boards are actually fantastic for what they do. Their main job, their superpower, is giving you clarity. They're an amazing way to literally show your brain, hey, this is what I want. This is the direction we're headed. They set the destination perfectly. And this is the key, just seeing the destination isn't enough to magically transport you there. Manifestation or just focusing on what you want isn't the whole story. The real missing link is the bridge between the future you want and the person you are becoming day by day. And that's the gap we need to figure out how to close. And closing that gap requires a whole new way of thinking about this. It's a shift from focusing on aspiration, what you hope for, to focusing on proof, the actual evidence of who you're becoming. This slide lays it out so well. On one hand, you've got the classic vision board. Its focus is pure aspiration. It asks the question, what do I want? It lives in the future, it's all about hope, and its job is to be your direction. But then you have the becoming board. Its focus is on proof. It asks a totally different question. Who am I becoming? It lives in the present, it's all about evidence, and its role is to document the journey. See the difference? So what is a becoming board, really? Well, it's basically a system. It's not about what you're wishing for, it's a collection of what you actually did. It's a record of how you showed up for yourself, and it's a visual story of how your identity is literally changing month by month. It's all about the doing, not just the dreaming. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it look like in practice? How do you actually do this? Let's break down how this becomes a really simple, sustainable system you can start using pretty much immediately. It all boils down to 4 core practices. First, you track real habits, the small, consistent things you actually do. Second, at the end of the month, you practice monthly reflection, just looking back at what happened. Third, you actively gather micro wins, those little moments of progress we usually forget about. And finally, you take all of that and you build visible evidence, a real tangible record of your own growth. And the real magic of this system is in the feeling it creates. Notice what's on this list. There's no pressure to be perfect. There's no daily overwhelm of tracking a million things. Instead, what it does is it quietly builds self-trust. It helps you be more consistent. And when you do that, motivation isn't something you have to hunt for anymore. It just becomes this natural thing that happens when you see yourself making progress. Now, this is a really important point. This is not about choosing one or the other. It's not about throwing out your vision board. It's about creating this amazing synergy where 2 powerful tools work together. Think of it like this. Your vision board is your North Star. It's the destination on the map. It tells you what you're working toward and why it matters. It's that beautiful, inspiring, long-term picture. And if the vision board is your North Star, then the becoming board, well, that's the ship's log. It's the proof, the evidence that you're actually moving, step by step, toward that destination. One gives you direction, the other gives you proof. You need both. And when you combine these 2, that's when the real transformation happens. That's when you shift from just dreaming about a different life to actively being the person who lives it. This really gets to the core of it all. The goal isn't just to get the thing or hit the target. The real, meaningful work is building an identity that's naturally aligned with the life you want to live. It's an inside job.
And I want to leave you with this quote because it just sums everything up so perfectly. When you have both systems working together, your focus totally changes. You stop just looking at the pictures of your dreams and you start seeing the undeniable evidence that you are becoming the kind of person who makes those dreams a reality. So I'll leave you with a question to take with you. Forget about the big, lofty goals for just a second. Ask yourself this: what little piece of evidence will you find this month that proves you are becoming the person you truly want to be? Thanks for watching.